In today's video, we are going to cover BRED, its recent price action, and of course, on the top of that, we are going to cover a couple of interesting charts for BTC and altcoins as well. Guys, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and a quick disclaimer that this video is not financial advice. And now let's hop into BRED itself. So BRED is trading at 17 cents, and we are currently experiencing 27% of gains on the 24-hourly time frame, and market cap is sitting at 1.7 billion USD. 24-hour trading volume is sitting at 193 million USD. Guys, what a beautiful pump, first of all, for BRED. But before we are going to get into the chart, that is a bit of a bullish news, I believe, because BRED is now available on Uphold, which means that more people are going to be able to buy BRED, and what comes with that, of course, accumulation is going to increase. Well, it's actually increasing. So guys, last time we had an update for BRED on the channel that was on the 3rd of June, and we're sitting at 297,949 holders. This is something that we don't see, but I had to check it on the previous video, and now we are sitting at 309,000. Well, actually 308,975, and that was literally 5 minutes ago as I was preparing for the video, and at that time we were sitting at 11,026 new holders, so probably now around 12,000 new holders in the last 4 days. So guys, that accumulation is huge, all right? And I'm not saying that it's going to last forever. However, at this point, with only $2 billion if it comes to market cap for BRED, I do believe that this coin actually still have a lot of fuel to go. But we are going to talk about long-term price predictions for BRED in a bit. And now actually let's cover short time frame for BRED. And now we don't have a lot of data because this is all-time high for BRED, right? BRED is obviously a new coin on the block, and now on the 4-hourly time frame, BRED is showing the sign that we might actually see the pullback. So let me actually draw a resistance over here for stochastic RSI, and as you guys can see, we are almost reaching that ceiling pretty much if it comes to stochastic RSI. So is this something to be worried about? Well, I don't necessarily think so, because that is only 4-hourly time frame. Now let's have a look at the daily, right? So the daily doesn't necessarily tell us a lot if it comes to stochastic RSI, because obviously there is not enough of data since BRED is a relatively new project, new meme on the block. But anyways, we can clearly see that we are nowhere near these levels if it comes to the daily stochastic RSI. So I do believe on the daily time frame, BRED actually still has a lot of time to go, and probably the pullback we could technically expect in this area. Of course, stochastic RSI is not indicator for everything, but that obviously gives us a picture of how much of potential fuel we have either towards the upside or downside. And now guys, let's actually have a look at overall market. So as we can see on the daily, we've got Injective pumping 11%, we've got Jasmine Coin 15.4%, and our beloved BRED 27.6% again. And now guys, let's have a look at inflows for BTC. So as of yesterday, 6th of June, we are sitting at 217 million USD of positive inflows, so that's great. And now guys, only looking by charts of BRED doesn't necessarily gonna help us fully to kind of understand of what we can expect from BRED. That's why let's have a look at the Bitcoin chart. So that is a 5-daily chart for BTC, and shout out to Mr. El Crypto Prof. He's given us a friendly reminder and saying that every 4 years this cross signals the final parabolic run for Bitcoin. 2012, 2016, 2020, and 2024. 2024 cross is just around the corner. Wouldn't fade such signals. A few months full of fun could lie ahead. So guys, let's have a look what he's talking about. So 2012, right, we had that cross, then we had the cross in 2016, and every single time this cross is happening on a 5-daily time frame, we are experiencing a huge pump towards the upside if it comes to Bitcoin's price. Just like in 2020 and 2024. Do you guys think that this time is going to be different? And now let's have a look at fractals. So that Bitcoin fractal is from 2014-2017. So guys, let's compare it to 2022 and 2025. So if we are going to follow this fractal, we could see Bitcoin trading at 1 million USD. Guys, let me know, what do you think about 1 million USD for this cycle for BTC? Wouldn't that be too crazy, or is it realistic, considering the fact that we are seeing inflows of almost 1 billion USD for BTC from these ETFs? So I'm not saying that this is impossible. Well, it's definitely quite high, but imagine of how much BRED could actually pump if Bitcoin would see 1 million USD. And now that is a daily chart for BTC. And now El Crypto Prof wasn't kidding when he said 88,000 next for BTC. As already shared 1 week ago, a right angle descending broadening wedge is in the making or in the proceeding according to the plan. Next phase, Giga candle. Are you guys ready for that? He's predicting that 88, let's say 90k BTC in, let's say, next few days or potentially even weeks. Well, let's see. I do believe that this target is going to play out because, you know, many charts are actually pointing out to the same thing. And now shout out to the Scalping Pro, by the way. So if we are going to look at his beautiful chart from the standpoint of before and after, that is a very easy to understand type of a chart. So let's have a look. We got before the halving, obviously the first pump, right? And then after we had a huge pump. So now before that was going towards the halving, obviously slowly exiting that week of accumulation, bear cycle, whatever. And then after the halving, huge pump. And now guys, we have already experienced before type of a pump. And now after, I believe is going to be quite juicy. BTC is back above its all-time high. I hope you were listening when I told you that the weekly stochastic RSI crossed bullish and entered the blue zone. The next phase, parabola, look at 2017 and 2020. Doesn't it look different? So guys, let's have a look. 2017, obviously Bitcoin at the time was dancing around the previous, all-time highs and consolidating around that. Then we have experienced the proper reset, and after that reset on a weekly, what did we saw? Parabola. So guys, let's have a look at 2020. So again, Bitcoin was consolidating around its previous all-time highs, and on the top of that, we have experienced a full reset on stochastic RSI, and we saw a huge pump towards the upside. So guys, let's have a look at 2024. Well, consolidating around previous all-time highs, and on top of that, the reset on stochastic weekly RSI. Guys, for me, this is pretty much a no-brainer of what we can expect from BTC and crypto in general in coming weeks. And now, according to the Scalping Pro, Bitcoin is about to break out of its massive inverse head and shoulders pattern. The pattern target is 91,000 USD. So guys, we do know that head and shoulder patterns are bullish patterns, and now we could see Bitcoin pumping towards 91k according to the Scalping Pro, and I completely agree with that because obviously given the market momentum and sentiment at the moment, and on the top of that, many charts that are pointing at everything that's going on, that's pretty much coming in my opinion. And now let's have a look at altcoins according to the Scalping Pro. So altcoins will go parabolic. The altcoin market cap has broken out of its accumulation phase and it's consolidating above $1 trillion from the past few months. This consolidation pattern looks similar to the previous cycle right before the altcoin market cap went parabolic. The RSI is also showing a similar structure, hitting a massive upside move. Guys, let's have a look what he's talking about. So first of all, the previous cycle, right? We had this accumulation phase. Obviously, we have broke above that accumulation phase, and then we have, obviously pulled back, right? And there was the time when RSI was creating such structure, right? We are going to need that because obviously we are going to compare it to here. Well, you can actually compare it now. But after that touch and retest as a support of that level, we saw a huge parabola. And now guys, let's compare these actions over here on RSI. That's pretty much similar to me, just like the whole structure of candlesticks for this cycle. So we've got accumulation phase, then the first leg up, then the exit above that resistance that became our support, retest as a support, and then uptrend. And on the top of that, these RSI structures are exactly the same in my eyes. So guys, this is pretty much a no-brainer at this point. And now let's have a look at one additional chart. So I would like to update you on that, weekly chart for altcoins that are excluding a top 10, which is, I believe, the best chart to actually determine of what is actually brewing for bread and altcoins that are obviously excluding top 10, right? So we do have this massive cap and handle pattern that is brewing, and on the top of that we are still arranging in that handle, which is obviously bullish. Such big move isn't going to come within a few days. Nevertheless, we do have some levels to smash, right? The first level, that is going to be this major level of resistance over here that we are pretty much battling with, and on the top of that we do have all-time highs, not mentioning about new price discovery for altcoins that are excluding top 10. Guys, I do believe that bread still has a lot of fuel to go. And now let's have a look at longer price prediction for bread. So obviously bread is pumping like crazy in recent days, obviously, which I believe at some point bread is going to see a pullback. Nevertheless, long term, well, according to this chart, we still have a lot of way to go. Bread sitting at a 50 billion USD in terms of market cap and doing roughly 25x from here. I don't see it as an impossible target for Brett. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys think that Brett is actually able of 25x this cycle. Ladies and gents, thank you very much for watching this update. I hope that you have guys enjoyed it, and I wish you have a great day. Peace and love, crypto.